Hiya crafters, thanks for stopping by. I have another video using some of the amazing, marvelous mask stencils. Now there are a ton of these stencil sets in the shop at A Colorful Life Designs, but today I'm going to be using the oval one. This is not new, but it's new to me and I'm excited to jump in and start playing with it. As you can see in this set, there are 4 different sizes where you get the outer frame portion and then the inside inner mask portion, and there's so many different ways that you can use these stencils. And I'm also going to use this Fun Suns stencil today as well. And I have the Spa Collection Zen Garden ink pads from Catherine Pooler Ink and my blending brushes, and I'm just going to jump right in and get started. So I kind of have a plan in mind of what I want to do here, but in my normal fashion, I'm kind of just winging it. So I have it sped up substantially to not take too long on the video, but you'll see I'm just laying down kind of a light wash of color with my ink because I really want to create that frame or the white frame around that pretty oval shape. So I'm laying down a lighter color of ink because I know I'm going to come in and layer it up with a second stencil and add some design to it. Now, there's so many different ways that you can use these innovative stencils, and I have other videos as well that I've made showing different ways that you can use it. So I will link those in the video description box below if you want to check them out after this, because the possibilities are endless, guys. They're so fun using the inner portion, the outer portion, both, layering them up with other stencils. It's such a cool way to put a cool border on your card, or just, you know, some cool geometric shapes or whatever. So I'm excited to have another one of these sets in my crafty stash because I think they're just so fun. Now this little Fun Sun stencil is super cute as is with these little rows, but I kind of wanted to do a little hodgepodge of these little suns all over on the inside of the oval. So you'll see that's what I'm doing here. I'm kind of sticking in the same range with these kind of sagey greenish teal colors and kind of soft purples. They're almost like a dusty rose and a dusty purple, if you will, but they're not bright in your face colors, but I'm kind of using different softness and hardness of hand to kind of create a different look and give it some depth within that little oval. You can see some of them are really saturated in color and some are much lighter, and you'll see as I go on I add even more into that, so it almost gives it the illusion of when you do like first, second, third generation stamping and you get that that thick saturation to a much lighter version. So that's essentially what I'm doing with my ink blending here. And I am using these little Bitty Bunny blending brushes from the Rabbit Hole Designs, and they just allow me to kind of stay in that little tight area on my stencil without having to mask it off. So it's really nice to have something like this. I'll link these brushes as well down below, but they're really nice to get in these tight little nooks and crannies for sure. So I like not having to stop and try and mask off different portions. So they're definitely fun to have as well. So I'm just kind of working through figuring out what little spots I need to add something to, kind of just sticking, you know, the tealish green on one side, the purple on the other. And again, I don't really have a set plan. I'm just kind of playing, but I feel like these would make a cool little like science card too. I have some other science stamps. I feel like these could look like little things you might see under a microscope or something like that. So here on this panel, I'm going to start the second card. I'm going to show you another fun and super easy way to use these stencils. Now this is the inner mask portion, and I'm not even adding more ink to my brushes. This is a fun way to kind of use up that ink that's already on your brushes. I don't usually clean them off in between. I'm kind of lazy, and I only use this set for dye inks. So I kind of just leave it on there knowing that I'll probably come back and use the ink another time on something else. And that's what I'm doing here. You can see I'm literally just cleaning my brushes and creating this awesome panel. So this, I'm telling you guys, you can't even mess this up. This is so easy and fun. You just lay these different ovals down around on the panel, and go to town with your inks. It just creates such a fun, whimsical little background. So I'm just kind of working through adding them in different spots, adding different colors. So they're in the similar, you know, color range to the other card, but I did add that darker blue into the mix. But I think this is just such a fun and unique way to use these stencils. You can do it with all different shapes, with rectangles and, you know, hearts and all different types of masking innards from these stencils. You can do fun stuff. So now I'm kind of looking through and figuring out what sentiments I want to add. So that's my sentiment book. I use little baseball card protector sheets, and I hold a bunch of my die cuts in there so they're ready to go. And I figure out what I want to use. I attach these panels to their A2 size card bases. I did die cut that one out right here with a stitched edge die from Paper Rose. I'll have that linked below. And here I'm just trying to figure out if I want to do, you know, horizontal orientation or vertical orientation, and I decided to turn it on its side. I think it fits in the oval better that way. So I'm just going to liquid glue that down. And wow, guys, look, I don't even know what I was thinking. I was so far to the left. I wasn't even looking at all about placement. I just chucked it on down. And then got all that glue all over, and then the glue activated the ink because the ink is water reactive, and then I rubbed it off, and look what I did. Just ripped the paper. Seriously? Oh, it's going to be a sequin moment. So here I'm just going to liquid glue this one down, and I know there's going to be a ton squishing off the edges. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to kind of blot it down on a piece of scratch paper just to kind of get some of the excess off, so there's not too much down on the card panel when I set it down. So that's what I'm doing here, is just tapping off that excess. Then I'm a little more mindful of placement, not just chucking it down there like the other one, all willy-nilly. Anyway, I glue that one on, and then here I decided to come back with the sequins and try and cover up that big spot that I ripped off. So you'll see one of my little errors when all is said and done, but I didn't want to put the sequins too close together, otherwise I could have covered up that other little rip, but it's barely noticeable. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue and attach these little gold sequins down. I thought they looked really nice with the embossed thank you. So I'm just kind of figuring out placement here. See, I didn't like that big and little one too close together, so I kind of just switched it up when I glued them down and let that little error still show. But I could have actually gone in with like a little, I don't know, brush and put a little bit more color over that little white spot, but oh well, it's handmade, right? We all make mistakes. So here's my 2 cards today. Super quick, easy, fun way to use these marvelous mask stencils. Now there are tons of these in the shop, so I will link them below. Be sure to check out all the different options. There's so many cool ones. And be sure to check out my other videos as well, where I show you even more ways that you can use these innovative and unique stencils. So if you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. And I thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.